Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I'm back with another video for Trinity Stamps. Today we are going to be making 3 different shaped cards that are also gift card holders. So we are using the coffee mug card, what is it? Is it hot cocoa? I think it's just the cocoa add-on. Here I'm showing you, I'm actually going to use the add-on for the freeze and season add-on, but that goes with the berry mug, but we aren't using the berry mug. And then here were just some other sentiment things that I ended up pulling out. Now, before we get too far into this, I do want to apologize to you because this is, as you probably noticed, a very short video for me, which was not intentional. I actually forgot to record the assembly. So it's pretty much just a coloring tutorial. Thank goodness I have actually used these products before, so I can link you to other videos, and if you're watching on the Trinity channel, I can link you to some videos that my wonderful counterparts on the design team have created. So basically these little freeze and season add-ons, it's like a little reindeer, it has a penguin, it has the melted snowman. Now those are meant to go with a different mug set, which is also very adorable, but I wanted them all to be shaped so that I could use the gift card. So this is kind of like stretching those products. So everything was cut out of white initially, and then I ended up going with a few different colors, which we'll talk about. But the snowflakes, which I knew I was going to use to decorate my mugs, were cut out of some glitter paper. Sometimes it can be tricky to get low-tack tape to stick to the glitter paper. Don't stress it. You know, I do try to hold mine in place, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you just got to throw them on there and hope. So here is where I decided that I was going to cut one of my mug bases. This is just a half sheet. So it is 8.5 by 5.5. And this is going to be the base for my penguin. Because the penguin is all black outside of just his little face portion, this is how we can stretch this one really easily. And then the other one that we are going to do, which is more, it's a bit more classy or classic, is, you know, just using the snowflakes and the, the skinny stripe, which you will actually see not at all. I'm so sorry. But then the other one kind of is a combination of the two, with a little cute melted snowman, but the more kind of classically, it's a little bit more fun decorated snowflake. So those ones here, what I'm doing is I like to cut everything out of white so I know what I'm working with, because I do like to add the color with my markers. You could absolutely do this with colored cardstock instead. But then once I know that I have all of my pieces parts, then I separate everything out by color. So that way all of the things that I know I need to shade white are in one pile. All the things I know I need to shade orange or black or whatever the color family is, just makes it easier for me to kind of like assembly line it. So here for the little penguin, I am adding some shading just to kind of like the bottom and the sides, so he doesn't look flat, just like a flat white. You absolutely could skip this part. I don't think that it would be a huge deal if you didn't add it. If you wanted to blend a little bit better, you can go over it like I am here with a colorless blender, just kind of around those edges, and it will help blend it a little softer. But right now it looks so gray because there's no other colors to compare it to. And then for the melted snowman, is the only one that's going to have white drips. And that's because I wanted it to look like, maybe white chocolate, or like the whipped cream melted and is kind of like overflowing the side of the beverage. And for that, instead of the cool grays, I chose warm grays, because originally I was also going to put marshmallows on these, which is just totally adorable. And I did color them, which I will show you just in case you have that very cute mug, because that's where the marshmallows are from. But basically for the drips, I'm really just kind of adding shading kind of down. I just picked one side or the other and added the shading that way. So that way it does have just like a little bit of depth. And once again, these are being colored white, so we want to make sure we're leaving lots of white space. Same thing with the whipped cream. Here, this is the first one I'm coloring, and I have 3 to color, and so I wasn't 100% sure where I wanted to put the shading. So I went in with my lightest color, which is the easiest to cover up. So I would highly recommend doing that. And then once I was happy that that's where my shadows were going to be, then I could go in with that darker color and let everything, kind of shade everything out into the lightest. But the key when coloring anything white is to make sure that you leave lots of white space. You're only coloring in the shadows. So, I mean, at least we caught the coloring, right? I've recently, this is the little mushrooms. I mean, I suppose they have mushroom tea, so maybe they could have, maybe that's what you could have in your mug, but they're marshmallows. I just added some shading with the cool grays. Anyway, what was I even going to say? Oh, I didn't even use any of those. So you could color them like to be chocolate. Here, this is a little lesson for all of us, and myself included. So I always tell you guys when you're coloring on a non-porous surface, like I am here with my glass mat, I'm coloring the eyes. Could I have just cut these out of black in the first place? Absolutely. Would that have been easier? 1,000%. But I didn't. So here I'm like kind of holding them and getting everything colored black. And then I always tell you, like, make sure you clean up your surface before you move on to the lighter color. Well, here I was like, I'm not even going to do it because I'm just going to color them up here. But what I failed to take into account was that I had the black alcohol ink on my fingernail. And now I have spread it to the tip of my very light pink marker. So now I have to scribble it off as well. So that's just something to pay attention to. Lately, I've been doing, and I don't know if you guys have seen them or not, I've been doing reels, but they're not like real informational reels. They're like kind of sarcastic and a little bit snarky, but only about my own creations. And so this is something like, those little boo-boos are definitely included, just so, you guys know that I make the same mistakes that you do. Here, I colored his hat band orange, but I actually cut a second one, which is a good note to make for that little, the blush of the penguin's cheek. The reason I was able to just replace the one that had black on it so easily is because any of those little pieces, like the faces, the hat band, things like that, I have gotten into the habit of cutting 2 of, because inevitably I will lose one or something will go awry, and then I will be mad that I have to die cut things again because I don't love die cutting. So here I decided to do the hat band in more of a navy just in case, which I'm glad that I did because this is the one that I ended up using. And then I'm just really adding shading kind of to the left and right, a little bit on the bottom, and I showed you 4 colors, but I only ended up using 3. So then what are we on to? The chocolates. Yeah. So for the 2 that I used, the little like chocolate swirl, I did one of these a while ago. I think when it first came out, where I did birthday mugs, like birthday coffee mugs, and I did a caramel one and a chocolate one. And then the add-ons, what else there's another add-on. Maybe I just used the Berry Cute. I think maybe I did. And I made gift card holders, but like with the 4-bar envelope, which by the way is in the last chance section. They have Trinity has a lot of great items in the last chance section right now, which are being, retired. And I used that 4-bar envelope to create some little gift card envelopes, but it wasn't really a gift card that I was giving away. I had actually bought a cookie class for my mom, my sisters, and my nieces. So I decorated them with the little mugs, and that's how I gave them their gift on Christmas. So it was so fun just to be able to like make them a little something, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm very, very guilty of creating a card, but then never giving it to anybody. Fortunately, I have family that likes to give cards because that's the only people who use my cards. Anyway, but I think these would be fun for like winter birthdays or just like a little thank you note, and you could definitely go with one that was like a little bit more serious Princess, which is the one that is the navy with the snowflake, you know, for winter, or the more cutesy one with the penguin or the melted snowman. I think they're both adorable. When I used to work outside of the house, I worked for a police department, and so I had a whole shift of guides that I would buy gift cards for. These would be excellent for that because the gift card fits inside the shaped card. There's like a little cutout that's included, and then you just slide it in there, and then you could just write like a little note. And I think they would be really adorable. So anyway, back to what we're doing. So for the coffees or the chocolate, we're doing the, you know, just kind of shading up from the bottom. And I did show you 2 examples where you could do a lighter or a darker, however you like your coffee, I guess. I'm a little coffee with a lot of cream and sugar, like a splash of coffee with a cup of cream and sugar. And then for my hot cocoa, we talked about this, I think, on my channel recently. If you're milk or water, I am milk. But I also put in like a pinch of salt into my hot cocoa because it really just makes it extra good. So here I was doing the chocolate and I was being a little bit light-handed with the darkest color just to see, and it definitely was not giving me chocolate. So I did end up having to go back in, starting with that darkest color and then kind of blending it back out. Don't be too hard on yourself because sometimes we do have to go back in order to get the result that we want or to build up the color, and that's totally fine. In the other one that I did, I added glossy accents to these, or you could add like a highlight with a white gel pen. I actually didn't do that for either one of these. This one, this little like drip, that's what we're going to call it, is actually from the smaller set, the Berry Cute layered mug, which is totally adorable. And like I said, I've used that before. That one has so many add-ons, not just the Freeze and Season. It's got a bunch of other ones too, which are really great. I love that Trinity does that. It gives us like a bunch of different ways to use products that we already have. So here in one of them, I used just the single larger drip, and then the other 2, I combined them. If you don't have the Berry Cute layered mug, I showed in that other video how you can flip it so that you could get drips on both sides. Here, this is the Snowflake Trio, and I really love these, but I wanted them to look like cookies, like little, like maybe gingerbread cookies or sugar cookies that would be kind of stuck into the whipped cream. So I'm coloring them with the same browns, but I'm actually, I left off the darkest brown. So I'm using the mid-tone, the E57, 55, and 53. That 53 for some reason looks really peach to me. I wonder if I filled it with the wrong marker. I hope I don't, because I did refill them while I was doing this, and I hope that that is not the case. And then I did go back in with that 57 and get the edges just so it looked like it had nice crispy edges. And then here is where the video ends. I am so sorry that we missed the assembly of these. Like I said, I will direct you to some other videos so that you can see that. If it's something that you're like, I really would like to see that, please let me know. And I love coffee, so I'd be happy to use them again. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.